In a faraway land, several prisoners are languishing in a horrid dungeon. However, every equinox, the prisoners are given a chance to earn their freedom. If they can only find a key and get past all the dangers of a dungeon, their crimes are forgiven. You must move with great care and make use of anything you may find to have a chance to escape. Many perils awaits you. Worse yet, there are not enough keys for everyone. Those who fail must wait for the next equinox to receive another chance. Do you have what it takes to escape the dungeon? Escape the Dungeon is a turn-based board game where several hapless prisoners are competing to find keys and escape the board.
So it's a game you print out and assemble yourself?
Precisely. And once you've got it ready, you can use it many times over. First of all, print out the PDF files provided. Assembly is simple papercraft. You'll want a pair of scissors and some paper glue.
So these are all the game components?
Yes, a set of rules, a 2-page game board, and some paper cutout tiles and pieces.
And this is all you need?
You'll also need a 6-sided die, or some equivalent. First, let's cut out the components. Now most of them are tiles, like this. They've got 2 sides, so make sure you cut them out lengthwise, so you can fold them over and glue them together. As you can see, most tiles have an unknown face up and a secret face down.
So you can't know which is which unless you turn them over?
Precisely. It'll be important later. Then there's the game board. The 2 sheets are joined together to create the dungeon. First, cut out the tunnel square. Then join the 2 boards together, using the tunnel square as a measure. It's supposed to go in here, so the players can move from one board to the other. Take note of the shading. The dark side goes up. Glue or tape them together, and that's the game board done.
I've noticed the tiles we cut out fit on these squares.
Exactly. There'll be random loot, monsters and so forth when we play. Now these will be the playing pieces. Cut them out and fold them into little standing triangles, and glue the base together. Of course, you can substitute them for any playing pieces you have in hand, if you wish. Well, within reason.
Looks like that's everything done. I reckon we can get the game going.
Yes, we'll set one up now. First, we'll put down the tiles on the game board, where they are supposed to be. The turnkey tile goes on the square next to the exit here. That will be the final boss. Now we'll put down the bronze and silver keys on these dead-end squares with keys on them.
But what about the golden key?
Well, as you can see in the reverse, it's got a random item face. We'll turn it over and mix it with the other random items that we'll place later.
So you won't know where it is?
Exactly. It could be anywhere, and it'll be different every game. Next, put all the monster tiles face down and shuffle them up. We'll place them on the squares marked M for monster.
They're random too then?
Yes, so you'll never know exactly what you'll encounter. Some of them are barely a speed bump, others can be pretty difficult to get past. Now we'll do the same thing with the obstacles, putting them down on O for obstacle.
It's interesting not knowing what hazards are where.
And it makes every gameplay a bit different. And last but not least, the items. Put the gold key face down in with them and shuffle them up. Scatter them at random on 3 squares. Try to aim for an even mix. On the other hand, you can cluster them around dead ends and the like. Use your imagination.
So the item tiles haven't got a special square to put them on?
No, the only rule is that they can't be put down on any other tile, or on the start and the end squares. And finally, put the player pieces in the starting square, here. Of course, you can always have a look in the rules folder if you are confused.
There's a nice diagram in there. Right, what am I aiming for? What do I want to do?
Well, you want to escape the dungeon and take the most loot with you. First, you need to pick up a key, and there are 3 of them in the dungeon.
Is there any difference to them?
Only how much they're worth, and the gold key being hidden. There's gold, silver and bronze. They'll go towards your loot value when you're out of a dungeon. But you must find and take a key with you to the escape square to be able to get out of a dungeon and be one of the winners.
How do you play then?
Well, it's an ordinary turn-based game. Once you've decided who goes first, they play their turn, and then the turn passes over to the next player clockwise. Simple. When it's your turn, roll the die first. That will determine how many things you can do this round.
I got 4, looks like. So I can move 4 spaces?
You can, but you can do other things as well. Think of the pips on the die as your actions. So you can spend 2 pips to move to that square there, 1 pip to pick up the item, and then you can spend the remaining action to move another square forward.
And I want items, won't I?
Yes, they will help you win the game.
I'll do that then. I got a torch. What's that useful for?
It's a tool, which will be useful if you get caught in cobwebs, one of the obstacles. You can always look up all the item categories in the rules folder, if you're unsure what they are.
Could I quit my turn and add the actions to my next turn if I wanted?
No, they're expended when you end the turn.
I'm next to a trap. Do I have to step on it to see what it is?
Not necessarily. You could, but you can also spend an action to scout it out first, if you're next to it. You stay on your square, but you can turn the tile over.
But if I step on the trap after revealing it?
You'll still spring it, but at least you know if you want to risk it before.
I'll chance it. Say it's cobwebs. What do I do?
Well, we'll look it up. Cobwebs here. You're trapped in the cobwebs. You lose all of your remaining actions, if you got any, and you have to spend your entire next turn wriggling free.
Can I cut free with the dagger?
No, it won't work. But you do have a torch. You can spend it to burn up the cobwebs and continue your turn.
Does that cost an action?
No, it's part of the action you paid by stepping onto a trap tile. That's how some items work. You spend them immediately to get out of a trap once you've sprung it.
So I get to keep going now that I've spent the torch?
Yes, and the cobwebs are removed, but the torch is gone.
How about this obstacle? Rubble, it says. What happens now?
Ooh, the tunnel's collapsed, and it's going to be difficult to get past here. You must spend 3 actions to worm your way through.
I got 2 remaining. Can I spend these?
Yes, in fact you have to, and then there will only be 1 action left to pay next round.
Ooh. Is there any item I can use here to get rid of it?
No, this obstacle is here for the duration. Think of it as a speed bump. It works on other players too, of course. Might be useful.
Ooh, say it's a pitfall.
Oh, indeed. The floor gives way under you and you fall. Unless you've got a rope, you will lose an item, all of your remaining actions, and end up at a random place in the dungeon.
How does that work? Out of interest. I mean, I use the rope if I got it, but let's say I didn't have it.
First you would roll a die and look at which one of these 6 wells you would end up at. In this case it would be well number 3. Then you decide what item you want to lose. You roll the die and place the item tile on the correct well. And all your remaining actions are void, so the turn passes over to the next player.
I get it. I'm glad I had a rope.
Very handy. Put the rope item on top of the pitfall tile. Now it's secured. You continue your turn as normal.
So other players can use the rope and get past the pitfall now?
Yes, but they can also jump down the pit on purpose.
Okay, but why would you do that?
Well, if you're being pursued, you might want to take your chances, for instance. Or if you're trapped behind some obstacles, you can try and see if you end up somewhere better.
And if I got some rubbish, it's basically free?
Yes, it can be pretty handy to have some rubbish sometimes.
Can I pick up the rope again?
Yes, if you don't want other players to get past behind you. It'll cost an action, of course.
I leave it because I feel nice today. While we're on the subject, these wells, How do they work?
As you've seen, if you fall down a pitfall, you end up on one of them and lose an item. But you can also jump down the wells on purpose if you're standing on them. Roll the die to see where you end up, lose an item, and roll for that as well. All of your remaining actions are void, of course.
Say I get the same well I'm already standing on.
Well, you end up where you started. It's a gamble. And sometimes the item you lost end up on the same well as you, so you can pick it right back up again.
Okay, now I get it.
Looks like you're approaching a monster.
Yes, and I think I spend an action to peep on him before I go in. A zombie looks like. Ooh, what happens now?
You can't move past monsters, but you can go back where you came from.
Well, that won't do. I'll attack it.
Time for a fight then. When you moved onto the tile, you've got 3 actions remaining, so you've got 3 attempts at beating the zombie this turn. You'll need to roll at or above its power level. The zombie's got a power level of 4, so roll 4 or over to win.
I get it. I do have a dagger, though. How does that work?
Well, you can spend it to win the fight immediately.
Nice. I'll do that.
But you'll also lose the dagger. They're made of any old guff and they're pretty fragile. They are only good for 1 use.
Ooh, I probably won't spend it just yet. I'll try to beat the zombie with the old-fashioned way.
Excellent. You roll a 2. Miss. Try again, 2 attempts left.
I got a 4. Got it.
Well done. The monster's defeated, and with 1 action to spare. The monster tile is removed and you can move forward.
Wahoo! Ooh, there you are. And you got the key I want. Can I fight you and take it?
You can try, if we're on the same square and you have actions remaining.
Can we fight anywhere?
Everywhere except on obstacle or monster tiles.
Go on then, let's fight.
Alright, en garde. You roll a die and then I'll roll. Whoever gets the highest wins.
And if they're the same?
Then it's a draw, and you got to spend another action to try again. Or you can do something else.
And if you beat me?
Then you avoid the rest of your actions and the turn passes to the next player.
Right, how about my dagger then?
You win a fight automatically, just like with a monster. Unless I spend my own dagger.
Oh no, what happens then?
They fizzle, basically. My dagger beats your dagger, so we fight as normal, by rolling the die.
So it's a waste.
Yes, but now I've got a chance to not get beaten. Right, I rolled a 4.
Ha! I roll a 5.
Well, look at that, you won fair and square.
What happens now?
Well, you can take 1 item of your choice from my inventory.
But what if I want more?
Ooh. Well, every additional item you take costs another action. And when your turn is over, robbing opportunity is also over. You've got to beat me up again to take more stuff.
I'll have the key. Thank you. And I'll spend the last action points getting away. Can I carry more than 1 key, by the way?
No, they're enchanted, so you can only ever carry 1 key at a time.
Now I got a key. I can go to exit and win?
Yes, but you got to make it past the turn key and get to the exit square with the key. There is a limited number of keys, of course. When we're all gone, the game's over. If you're still in the dungeon at that point, you lose.
So you just, let's say, I got the last key?
Then everybody else is after you. They'll want to beat you so they can take your key.
I see. Lucky I'm early. So this is the turn key?
Yes, think of him as the final boss. You've got to get past him to escape.
Can I fight him?
Yes, but you'll have to roll a 6 to beat him.
Could I spend a dagger?
Yes, that will beat him like any other monster. But you can also bribe him with a treasure item. Handy if you want to keep him in play and can afford to spend it.
Why would I want to?
Because if you keep him on the board, other players have to deal with him after you.
Good point. I'll do that.
And now you're out of the dungeon.
Yes! What do I do now?
Now you're in place to win. Wait around until all the other keys are out of the dungeon. Oh, look at that. I found a gold key, and I'm right next to the exit.
No! It was there all along? And I only got the bronze key?
Yes, but I still haven't won, though. You've hoovered up more treasure than I have. I don't think I can beat that. And since you've left a turnkey in play, I'll have to beat him or pay the toll to get past. I think I'll just pay the toll to get out. Right, all the keys are out of the dungeon. It's game over.
So, who of us actually won?
We'll tally together all the loot. Look at the value of every bit of treasure you got out with you and add them all together.
And the player who has the most has won?
Yes, and then the second and third places too, like a prize podium.
Do any of the other items count?
No, they're useless once you've escaped. Only the item tiles with a value on them matters.
Well, I've got 80. What did you get?
Only 70. The gold key gave me a boost, but you've got more treasure. I made a mistake when I bribed with turnkey.
Ha! Alright, looks like I got first place. That's a win for me.
Well played.
Round again, anyone? Last but not least, what are these modifiers in the back of the rules?
Well, they are optional additions to the rules, if you want to change how the game plays.
Ooh, like the single key rule here.
Yes, it makes the game play faster. Handy if there's only 3 to 2 players, or if you're pressed for time. There's also this play nice rule, where players can't fight each other. I can think of a few situations where that could be handy.
Yeah, just like your overcompetitive uncles over for Christmas and you got to keep the family peace.
Precisely.
And the teamworks rule is good, if you got children playing and want to give everyone a sure shot at winning.
Yes, it's very handy. And there's a lot of variations to the game you can try. And you can come up with some of your own if you'd like.
How about another game?
Yes, please.